Welcome back to part 2 of the 3W podcast with my friend Twilla Brooks. I hope you caught the first episode where we dove into how giant of a badass that she is. And she has her own company, Lynette Create. And Innovate. I was going to say Incorporated. I knew there was an I, and I normally know. I typed it. I know. But when I speak, I don't know. So that's awesome because I don't think before I speak. We all know that.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Twila is here for BFF, which it's June finally. It's hopefully the sun has come out indefinitely, and we're going to have an amazing Bentonville Film Festival. So happy 11.
Happy 11.
Yeah.
So excited.
Let's start with all things BFF. We're turning 11.
Yep.
The theme is Find Yourself in Film.
Yep. Find yourself in film.
Which I love that.
We love it. And you'll see us.
It ties to Homegrown.
Big times to Homegrown. But you'll see us kind of use find yourself at a spotlight, find yourself in amazement at the outdoor theater. Just a few to kind of like highlight. But what's so great about it is it's the opportunity for you to see yourself. You know,
it's
so
yes.
And especially in a world where, you know, right now there's just so much adversity out in the world. It gives you a great opportunity to just kind of take a beat where you might be super excited, you might laugh, you might cry, you might be deep in thought. And there's a lot, trust me, I've seen a lot of these films, and they're going to tear at your hearts for so.
Okay, so Kleenexes.
Yes. I would say for sure, depending upon the one that you're going to go see, make sure you bring your Kleenex.
And some of them are sold out.
Some of them are sold out. Yeah,
Already.
We're looking at, I know, we're so excited about that.
Ridge to River
is sold out.
Both showings
are sold out. The librarians are sold out. And so, which is amazing for us.
That's yes, it's
because we typically wouldn't have, screenings already sold out until next week. And
right.
So
11 years ago, when y'all started the festival, we didn't even have a movie theater.
Yeah.
11 so to have sold out screenings today
right now
is amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah.
I love it. So June 16th through the 22nd.
June 16th through the 22nd.
We pray for good weather. We're activating momentary Crystal Bridges, Thaden.
Yeah, so we're going to go across. So our headquarters will be at the Momentary, right? So all things BFF will be at the Momentary. We're so grateful that with partnering with the community, we're going to be at so many different venues. Obviously, we'll be back at Skylight. We cannot have the Bentonville Film Festival without Skylight.
You can't,
right?
Mom.
And so from the movie theater standpoint, and Scott and Jared and the entire team at Skylight, they're so giving to the Bentonville Film Festival.
I mean, you've wrapped the outside of it.
Yeah, they wrapped the
amazing.
outside of it. Crystal Bridges, we're back again. We'll talk a little bit about a couple of those conversations that we're having at Crystal Bridges.
One was just made public today.
Yes.
Which I know this airs in June, but one was just made public today.
Like right before I got here.
Yes.
I was obviously we'll be back at Thaden for Gina and Friends. So thank you so much to the team at Thaden. Our opening reception will be at Blake Street.
Oh my God. I'm shocked.
Yes. We're also launching that. We will be at doing a panel at the Walmart Museum.
Oh, at the newly unveiled.
And the newly, So you'll see us try to, this is a community festival.
It is.
Right? And we wouldn't be here without the community of Bentonville, and the fact that they've been so open to allowing us to use their venues. And our festival hotel is the motto.
Oh. Even perfect, because we just talked about in part 1 how your favorite restaurant is Junto in the bottom
so
of the
can you imagine all the filmmakers are downtown. They can walk around. They can really be like engrossed in the Bentonville culture. And we're having one of our after parties at the Record.
Perfect.
So that is 7 locations.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because the Bentonville Film Festival is downtown Bentonville.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, a million years ago, these were before Teslas were like being driven around everywhere. They were testing them down here, and I would get in a Tesla where the doors would flip up like a DeLorean.
Right.
It would drive me at one hotel, and it would drive me to the Record where everything was activating, like in year 1 or 2.
Yeah,
it was so cool, and I'm like, to see it evolve, but to still stay around the square.
Still stay around the square. We're not as much on the square. Obviously, the square's under construction.
It's a little torn up.
But that's okay. We're still utilizing Blake Street, still utilizing 21C. I think that the great thing about the festival also being over a Saturday, is that a lot of people get to experience the farmers market.
Oh, right.
Where, if you remember, a couple of years ago, we had some celebrity chefs in town, and they were like obsessed with the farmers market.
It's the quaintest thing ever.
Exactly.
Yes.
So there's a lot of cool stuff, and I think we're also going to announce another party at Barclita.
Okay.
It's so it's
I like that.
Yeah, we're super excited.
Well, good. After you leave Barclita, you can hop up across to Celeste.
Exactly.
You can to try it.
It's good. Exactly.
See, logistically perfect for you.
Exactly.
Let's talk about opening night.
Okay.
What's your film?
So the opening night, the film is East of Wall.
Mm-hmm.
It's a powerful story where, it talks about women and girls who kind of are, inspired by their love of horses.
Okay.
And it takes place in South Dakota. I don't want to give too much away because the story is really powerful.
Okay.
And it talks a lot about, rescue horses and different things like that. And so we're super excited about it.
That seems very unique for an opening film.
Yeah, it's unique for an opening film, but it's a story that we believe must be told.
Okay.
And so we're looking forward to it.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's jump on to celebrities.
Okay.
Because one was just announced today.
Yes.
Al Roker is coming.
Al Roker is coming.
He has a film.
He has a series.
A series, I'm sorry.
That will air in September. But it's called Weather Hunters,
Okay.
which is apropos, for, so it follows the journey of a young girl. And there's amazing talent in it, like Wanda Sykes, Holly
She's
Robinson
hilarious.
Pete, Cheryl Lee
Beautiful.
Ralph, and so he's
Yes.
got the perfect, and I've got to see a little bit of it. It is so funny.
Good.
So it's almost like she's a storm chaser, but she's a weather hunter.
Okay.
So it's super cool. And then how lucky are we that he's going to be doing a conversation at Crystal Bridges on Tuesday, June
That's the
17th,
opening day.
opening day. He's going to, fly in, and you never know, he might pop up on the news here to do the weather. We don't know.
Right.
So he has that conversation. So we're super, super excited to have him.
And he's going to speak at Crystal Bridges, right?
He's going to speak at Crystal Bridges on Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, in the afternoon.
Yeah, I love that.
And then we announced also we are honoring Lucy Liu on Saturday.
Okay, so side note,
Yeah.
it's not important at all.
Okay.
But my dream job still to this day is to be a Charlie's Angel.
Oh my God. I think, so it's so funny because this is now, we're both showing our age. But like, I was so obsessed with Charlie's Angels with Lucy Liu and Cameron Diaz and Drew Barrymore.
Oh, obsessed.
And I always wanted to be Lucy Liu's character because I felt like she was like so put together.
She was.
And like everything, and she could kick some serious butt, and her hair was always perfect.
Yes.
Her makeup was always perfect.
Always.
And she had the cutest boyfriend.
Yes,
And
he
so-
was adorable.
so I was just like-
what's his name?
Wasn't it Luke?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
with Wilson.
Yes.
So we're super excited about that. But she also has,
Wait, no.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
that was Cameron Diaz's boyfriend.
oh yeah, that was Cameron Diaz.
Joey from Friends.
Oh yeah, it was Joey from
Yes.
Friends. You're right.
Same, but
Yeah,
so
same,
cute.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, when you mentioned that she was coming, I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I'm aging myself. I'm sure she's done many amazing
Yeah.
things since Charlie's Angels,
Right.
but that's
Well, she
what
has
puts
this
her
great.
on a
Well, she has an
pedestal.
amazing film called Rosemead, and this is the one you need to bring your tissues. Super, super powerful about being a mom and dealing with what your child's going through.
Okay. And she's coming into town.
And she'll be here.
Okay.
Yeah, so she'll be awarded, be given an award at her closing gala.
Mm-hmm.
So she will be
Saturday
here
night?
Saturday night.
Okay, yes.
And then we just announced today, Variety, that Brenda Song will be here. And so most people know Brenda Song as, some people know her as Macaulay
As
Culkin's
wife, yes.
But
Lauren's
she's
wife.
also on this super witty show on Netflix called Running Point with Kate Hudson.
Mhm.
And it was just
She
cleared for...
was phenomenal
She
in that movie.
is that-
or not movie, but that series. I
my
love
God.
that series.
It's
but
so
she
funny because
kept Kate in check
she kept
and
her
let
in
her
check.
go, but brought her back.
And I
I'm
also feel like
her.
she empowered Kate to kind of be the badass woman.
She did. I loved her character.
When Kate didn't know she was.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so she's coming. We just announced in partnership with Variety magazine.
Which is huge.
For this year. So Variety is our partner, right? And so they're giving her the Variety Virtuoso Award. And so just about her accomplishments, about, you know, her life as being an Asian American woman in the public eye as an actor. And so, and we will be announcing something else that she'll be a part of. But right now we just announced that she's going to be given this award.
Oh, I love that.
So
love that.
Really good dynamic celebrities. And obviously, you know, we talked about Sovereign. And, you know, and you never know, Dennis Quaid and Nancy Travis could be here.
They could be.
We shall see. And so, yeah. So
I hope you all are reading between the lines on Twila's face.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah,
just
exactly. So those are just some fun stuff. Yeah.
Well, so you brought up Sovereign, and if somebody decided to skip ahead to part 2, didn't see part 1.
Yeah.
Sovereign is part of the Homegrown.
Yes.
Which is new this year.
Yeah. So one of the things that we're doing, which we're super excited, is we've created the Homegrown section in Bentonville, where it's really highlighting voices and filmmakers and films that were shot in the state of Arkansas.
I love this.
And
I feel like for the past 11 years, there's always been a tie.
There's always been a tie,
but
where
not as much.
Not as much, because 2 years ago, obviously, we had Hard Miles, right, with Matthew Modine, and with R.J. Hanna, who was a director, and he went to Bentonville High School, and his parents still live here. But this year you'll see us highlighting films that are particularly either highlighting some that are made in Bentonville,
literally,
right? Some that are Springdale and Fayetteville, a little bit out of Little Rock, and then we're also highlighting some voices. You know, so if you think about Juneteenth, you know, we're going to be celebrating a documentary short called Traveling Mercies, and it's a short, not a documentary, but it was filmed at Bentonville High School. You'll see there's a few scenes of it's downtown on the square, which is amazing.
It's always fun. That's so I have kids, right? And so Freddie debuted at BFF, and so that's why that was fun to watch, because you're like, oh my gosh, that's Fat Tire, and
exactly,
it's weird.
It's good. It's weird to see it, but then you're like, oh, okay,
oh, we're real.
And then we also are highlighting Colbert. All students can learn, the first African-American superintendent in Fayetteville, and he really helped with a lot of desegregation, and so you'll see us highlight that. Guess you don't need that.
Don't need that pen.
So that's going to be good. So the Homegrown section really is us paying homage.
I love this.
To the state of Arkansas, and the goal is that you'll see more of it.
It makes me happy because I'm a transplant, so I can only, and you're a transplant too. Exactly, so I'm like, I can only imagine what people who are like born and bred here feel to see Arkansas so highlighted, because until you touch ground here, you don't know what the hype is. Yeah. It's still backwards, right, outside of this little gold bubble.
You know, there's also, because I saw, ironically, it came about because I met a mountain biker who was a former world champion who had a brain injury because she got hit by a drunk driver. And so one of the movies, Beyond the Ashes, talks about the adaptive trails and how people who were at the height of their careers as professional riders are faced with this adversity. And the only thing that they really know that helps them thrive, that helps them get back on the horse, is riding. And so it highlights how, you know, this team have basically created these trails for adaptive riders.
And that's a feat in itself. Even just the trail construction.
Just the trail. And it's become, you know, obviously, you know, Bentonville's become like the mountain biking capital of the world, but like the adaptive trails, people are coming from all over the world to highlight the trails. And so it's stuff like that
it takes a flashlight for that, because I didn't even know they existed. So now we have a film.
I had no idea that it even existed until I met Annika, right, who is a part of this film. And then ironically, the past worked out that they were creating this documentary. And so, but yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And then we have Alison De La Hussein, who spoke, and we talked about her for just 1 second in part one, but I like the lineage that she was another transplant to Northwest Arkansas and showed up to, I think, year one. So 11 years ago to one of the panels, like In Charge of Your Own Destiny. I'm sure I'm butchering the title, but, and realized this was her destiny, was to immerse herself in Bentonville and to ride a bike and find the story. And now she's done Ridge to River.
And River to Ridge.
River to Ridge. I butchered it 400 times. And the Arkansas Traverse. So I'm like, if it's almost goes back to, if you can see it, you can be it.
Exactly.
You know, which early days of BFF.
Yeah, which we're bringing it back. It'll be a panel too. So yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So talk about, do we have any announcements? We finally announced the date and time for Gina and Friends.
Gina and Friends.
Friday night, I feel like.
We have not announced, although I know, but we have not announced the cast yet.
Everyone's dying to know.
It's going to be exciting. I know who they are, so the cast is going to be
You're
great.
You're not going to give one tease?
Gina.
Yeah, okay. Gina has to be there because Gina is the namesake of the festival.
Someone who's getting an award may be a part of Gina and Friends.
Okay, we may have mentioned her.
We may have mentioned her.
Okay.
We may have talked about her.
And that's going to be at Thaden again.
And that's
several years in a row.
We love that partnership for Thaden, and that's going to be there. Yep, that's our spot. So we're super excited about it.
I love that. Okay, let's talk about how family-driven this festival is.
Yeah, so, this is the part that, there's so many parts of the festival that I love, but one of the parts
it's hard to zero in on your favorite.
It's so hard to zero in.
Because it's like this, and there's something for everyone.
Yeah. Well, this is the part that, you and I are so fortunate that we have so many opportunities, right? But if you are a family of 4 and you don't have a lot of money, but you're looking for something to do, right? You can come out when the Gina Davis Outdoor Theater opens up on
Thursday?
On Thursday, which is June 19th. And it kicks off with Wild Robot, right? You can bring your family out. You can kind of sit down.
Which is at the Momentary.
Okay,
yes.
Right? There's free hot dogs. We're doing sausages this year in partnership with Sam's Club because they're providing all the condiments and the hamburger buns and the hot dog buns and chips, right? Also, too, Coca-Cola is our presenting sponsor. So all the drinks you can have, not to mention there will be candy, and you can enjoy it. And guess what? It's all free.
It's all free, and a movie.
And a movie. And not only are we doing it on Thursday, we're doing it Friday, and we're doing it Saturday.
There's 2 films.
And there's 2 films.
Each day.
So just a quick shout out to our sponsors. And so on Thursday night, we have the Wild Robot, and then we have Beetlejuice,
which is the newer one.
If you remember last year, we closed it out with Beetlejuice.
The original.
So then on Thursday, we have Dogman, which, I didn't even know what that is.
Books.
But it was a book, and kids love it. Yes. And then we also have Minecraft, which is
movie
taking over the world.
Exploded. Chicken Jockey.
Yep. And then Saturday, we have... and we'll talk a little bit about the special performance later, but the outdoor theater opens at 12 o'clock with a partnership with Walmart, the Walmart Toy Corner, where there will be 35 plus activation.
So
all the newest toys.
What's it called in November?
Toyland.
Toyland. Toyland, but different and bigger and better.
Yeah. So this one's more about creating experiences and you being able to do things. I mean, obviously there'll still be a bunch of giveaways, right? But you'll be able to ride some of the newest bikes. Like we have like bubble blasters and segways and just it's going to be crazy. And Peppa the Pig.
Yeah, I was just going to say Peppa's coming.
Is bringing their entire activation where they travel across the country will be there. Not to mention, we'll also have Dora. Bluey's coming.
Oh, Bluey. Bluey is
we can't
huge.
forget Gabby. We have a professional skateboarder that's also coming.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
It's going to be insane. And that's just for the outdoor theater
Right.
in addition to free food.
Which is also free with the food, but like this toy corner is free. So like your Saturday is planned for for free.
Right. It is and then for the adults that need a little bit of a break, we also have a huge activation with Minute Maid hard cocktails. Oh, nice. Right. So, your kids get to go crazy, hopped up on something, and you need to, if that's what you want to do, you get to have a nice little drink. So, and then Saturday night, we're showing the original Superman.
Yes.
So that'll be
great. You said original. That was going to be one of my questions, but then you just said original, as in like when you and I were growing up. Original.
Yeah, that 1810. Yep.
Oh my.
Yep. So we're showing that in partnership with Warner Brothers because there's a new
one coming out. Yes.
And
that new Superman is so cute.
Yeah, we have some fun stuff that we'll do with Crypto Dog. And then our nightcap will be a dress-up sing-along version of Wicked.
And
then...
Which, let's touch on Wicked for a second. Yeah. I just purchased something. We're not going to talk about what that something is, but I purchased something from an auction last week.
Yep.
American Heart Association. We'll shout them out because you are super involved with them. From Wicked.
Yep.
Talk about your connection to Wicked.
Oh, gosh. Right when I left Walmart, a part of the things that there's so many great things that I got to do when I was at Walmart, but one of the things that ironically is a thread for the Bentonville Film Festival as well that I was a part of was the Entertainment Council. So I got to work with so many.
You already had these connections before you went and contracted BFF.
Exactly.
Which is weird.
The whole thing is weird.
More fate.
Which I think it's fate. Yeah, I do think it's fate. But, right after I was done with Walmart, I got a call from a friend of mine who works for Universal. And they were like, we would love your help on just brainstorming because, we have Wicked and we have this amazing cast at the time. They were like Ariana Grande. And then they said Cynthia Erivo to me, and I immediately knew who she was. And they were like, well, what do you mean? And I was like, well, Harriet. And I was like, and then I said, the first time I got to experience her was Color Purple on Broadway. And they were so excited that I knew her. So immediately I was like, there's so much you can do with her. She's super talented. And so they were like, well, we want you to go to LA to meet with the team. And I was like, what?
Okay.
And I didn't even charge them. I was like, okay, I'm going. Right. So I go.
This is more of that, like, I work for free.
I work for free.
Yeah.
Because I was just super excited. And I was talking to them about all these ideas about what you can do. And I was like, it's kind of like, and ironically, the EVP of Universal was at Disney when Black Panther was started. And I kind of helped Walmart greenlight Black Panther. So I don't want to say that I was the reason why they moved Black Panther to February, but I had a lot to do with it, of having Black Panther come out on Black History Month.
Exactly. It's all about how things.
And I believed in Black Panther so much, and I believed in Wicked so much. And at the time, they thought that they were going to do maybe a couple $100 million in product for Wicked. And I was like, no. I said, this is the Black Panther of our generation.
Yes.
I said they have a and then I was already obsessed with the fact that Michelle, she had just won the Oscar. So they were freaked out about how much I knew about it, right?
Super fan. Yeah, we're the super fan.
Yeah, I wasn't. And so I got the opportunity so they presented me with the opportunity to go to London, to go to set. And they didn't even know why I was going there. Most people were like, who is this person? And I just love Rafa. He was like, we just want you to be you. We want you to come to set, take it all in, and come up with a merchandise strategy, and just give us your ideas. And I was like, this is what I'm doing. This is what I want to do. I want to be able to use my creative mind to come up with ideas, to think outside the box, to figure out how to scale it, but also to introduce people to certain things that they would never, ever get to see and do or think of. And there is when I really, on my way back, because I was only in London for 48 hours.
That's it? In my head, you were on that set for a week.
No. I literally was in LA I flew to LA on Monday, met with the Universal team on Tuesday. They flew me home on Wednesday, flew to London on Thursday, landed on Friday, had to go straight to Universal to get because I had 15 COVID tests.
Because this was COVID time.
COVID test, industry party that night. And then you had to then wake up early to take another COVID test.
Okay.
And in order for you to be able to get on the bus
to go to
the set was 2.5 hours outside of London. And one of the most magical things that I've ever experienced, got to see Michelle Yeoh come in as Madame Morrible because she was late to set because she had been doing all the award shows for her Oscar. And she was stressed.
So this had to be February.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
She was stressed in all things, everything. And no, it was in March, right? Because it was right after. It was in March.
Right.
And she pulls out her Oscar. And literally,
I have goosebumps.
She's right there because Rafa's like, come sit with me. And I'm in the front row. So then I was like, it can't get any better than this. So then she whips away, goes back to set. And who's literally 10 feet from me is Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo. And you can't take any pictures because they have locked up your phone somewhere.
Okay.
So I was like, is this really what's happening? And right then and there, I said, I know what I'm doing.
I love it. That was your aha moment.
That was my aha moment. It was the most epic experience.
It wasn't just being still at COVID.
I've had a lot. Yeah.
That was your aha moment.
Yeah, I've had a lot of really good moments, but it was that one where I was like, I can do this. Yeah. And I have, Cecilia Raymond to thank for it. She was the one who we became really close when she was at Warner Brothers. We worked a lot to work through bringing licensing together. And then she was from LA. Right. And we had that in common. And she fell in love with Bentonville and moved her family here and then went to Universal. And so fast forward. And then, of course, Rafa was at Disney. Mm-hmm. And I had a great relationship with him for Black Panther, which they were all shocked that I knew who Chadwick Boseman was. And then he went to Universal. So it's like all the stars just kind of aligned. And I feel to me, it's always a connected thread.
Always.
Yeah. And I know we got off of BFF, but yeah.
But no, we didn't because
it all
Wicked is showing. You're closing out the outdoor
theater.
We're
closing out the outdoor. And I was like, we're closing it out.
Yes.
And then hopefully, fingers crossed, we don't know yet. So the Wicked for Good trailer is attached to the How to Train Your Dragon.
Okay.
Which comes out June 13th.
Okay.
So we're hoping that we'll also get to show it. And show it. And then right after Wicked, it's fireworks.
It is fireworks. First time.
Or second.
Oh,
last year was the first time.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah. Well, no. Last year we were stressed because we were like, we can't set the parking lot deck on fire.
No.
Unless they'll never let us back again. And it was so successful we're doing it again.
I love that.
Yeah.
I thought that was so exciting. So I thought the fireworks were new. That's my bad.
That's okay.
Okay, so I think that's a good place to wrap up because what's the tagline? Come for the movie, stay for the magic.
Oh, I might steal that from you.
It's on your website.
I'm just messing with you. No, but I mean, we're just so grateful. The marketing, the social, everyone's been
It's on point this year.
Oh, well, thank you.
It's on point this year.
We're trying. We're learning every day, and I'm sure is with you with 3W. It's like you do one thing, and immediately you're like, okay, wait, no, I know I can be better. Like, oh, I saw this, I'm gonna do this. And so, gosh, I'm just so grateful. And every day is different and exciting, stressful sometimes.
It's okay. It makes you appreciate the highs.
Appreciate the highs and living in the moment.
Yes.
Just having a blast.
That's what you have to do, right? That's authentic. And life is life.
Life is life.
Change is change.
Got it.
It's how you navigate.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love it. Oh my gosh. Thank you, friend.
Thanks for having me.
I love that you came and did this. You were so great to kick off. We're just resurrecting the podcast. So I love that you've brought this. You've come with me along this journey in the past few years. I'm glad you accepted my friend request.
Yep, I did.
Yes. Thank you so much. We've gone over time, so I apologize if you've stuck with us this long. Thank you so much. I say that all the time. Thank you for supporting the podcast. Don't forget to go get your Hershey Salty Snacks.
And Don't forget the Bentonville Film Festival is June 16th through June 22nd.
Yes,
Hope
it's
to
going to
see
be
you there.
It's going to be so great. Get your tickets now on
our website.
Yes, absolutely. Keep inspiring a culture of giving. Till next time. Thank you.
Thank you.